Hey folks, it's Tito here, keeping my ideas outside the box, trying a different thing with the mic this go around, so hopefully the sound will be much better this go around. So, things to update you guys on this week. The sweepstakes for the exclusives from San Diego Comic-Con is still going. One thing I may have forgotten to mention, but I'll mention right now, is that this is a daily contest. So you guys can enter daily and ensure that you guys get in the draw. The more times you guys enter, the more chances you have to win. We'll be making the big announcement on August 17th, who wins what, and that is at our premiere. Don't worry, for those of you that aren't from Fort McMurray, you can find out if you won through a live stream that we will be doing that night. And we'll also be sending out your package if you are one of those lucky winners. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about stuff I've watched since the last vlog. I binge watched Better Call Saul season 3, and whoo boy, man, is it amazing. So it's finally on Netflix. It's been on my list for a while. I just didn't want to pay for iTunes to get it, and I don't have like cable television. I usually just watch my stuff off iTunes, Netflix, Crunchyroll, etc. And wow, what an amazing season. Really good storytelling. I really love the cinematography on this show. Just very well-composed shots, a lot of depth, and they really let the characters drive the conversations and the scenes. So I can't say enough positive things about this season, and I really can't wait for Season 4, which is starting in a few weeks, and I may have to bite the bullet and actually get the season subscription on iTunes. I've also started Castlerock, which has me all sorts of confused, but I'm kind of excited because it all takes place in the Stephen King universe. I mean, Shawshank Penitentiary's in it, and they do a nice wink and a nod to the material that it's drawing from, so highly recommend if you're a Stephen King fan, and some really good character performances in that as well. Stuff from this week, Nerdvana content. So our premiere's right around the corner. We are talking about less than 2 weeks from when you're watching this vlog right now. August 17th, VIP tickets are still up for sale. And again, to remind you guys of the VIP package includes priority seating, an exclusive Nerdvana the Web Series world premiere t-shirts, which we previewed this week, and a swag bag full of other awesome goodies. Stay tuned on social media to reveal. So you guys may have seen that we reposted something from Ashley's Instagram earlier this week where she's working on these cool little 8-bit versions of the cast of Nerdvana. So if you want one of those, you're gonna have to get the VIP package. But don't worry, if you don't want to spring for the VIP package, regular tickets and child tickets are still on sale right now, up until the premiere. So get on it. Get to Nerdvana. Where can I point? Right here. Nerdvanaseries.com to get your ticket today. IGTV. So I did find something to put on IGTV. You should be seeing it today. It's actually our little music video that we shot for San Diego Comic-Con, which you saw in the previous vlog if you were watching. If not, it's there, and I'm thinking about doing that maybe with all of our past music videos. If you guys think it's a good idea, just leave it in the comments, and I'll be sure to get that ball going. I think that would be kind of a bit of a fun project for you guys to watch. YouTube stuff. So this past week, we actually started putting our pilot production diaries online. So it's interesting because these are a snapshot of 2016 when we shot our pilot, but they're also a snapshot of the fire, the beast, which occurred right before we started principal photography for the pilot. So a lot of that goes into those narratives, and on top of that, you guys will see in season 1, if you saw the preview, you guys already know there's a dragon. We actually pay homage to the fire from 2016 in a tongue-in-cheek way in one of the episodes. I mean, what's the best way to shoot in Fort McMurray where there's still all these burned down trees? We make it part of the story, and I think we did it in a very cool way to kind of show that Fort McMurray in itself took on a beast of its own during that period. Facebook, so more MacGuffin Gaming going on. You'll notice that our friend Matt Salem, aka Player One, did a video on The Forest this past week, and you should be seeing some more MacGuffin Gaming coming soon.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so, but I'll try.
Oh, ah, they're there. They're at our place. They're just running away from it as I come up to it. I don't know if they saw me.
Oh shit, they're also here where I am. Okay, well I killed him.
Other stuff. Oh, okay, cool. We're up to the comments. So, last week's comments. This one's going to take a while, which is why I want it's kind of the majority to this week. Starting with Chanel 1980 SJFK coming up. That mic connection. Oh, that's from last week. My apologies, folks. Oh, actually, is it? Yeah, no, it is this week. Sorry, my bad. That mic connection was so bad, XD, but that's all right. I heard you guys had a great time at Comic-Con. Will you be live streaming the premiere on social media? The short answer is yes, we will. There'll be a number of live streams going on that evening from different members of the cast and crew, but we will have a main one. I think I alluded to it earlier that we'll be making the announcement of the winners on the live stream, so that's happening. And in addition to that, we'll probably be doing some stuff during the intermission, so definitely stay tuned to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a comment from CFAD Productions coming up. Got a few general interest questions for you. Feel free to answer none, one, some, or all at your discretion. So I will answer some. I can't answer all because it gives away something that we might be doing a little bit along the way. But we'll go through them and I'll let you know which ones I can and can't answer. How many hours of footage did you end up with? Surprisingly, and I know this is probably Clayfadden that is the user here, not that many. If I were to surmise, put it all together, I want to say probably close to 5 to 6 hours of actual footage. And the reason, because of the reason for that is that we knew what we were shooting. There wasn't a lot of wasted time. We did have several takes, which we'll be sharing over the coming months once it's no longer a spoiler. But really, by and large, everyone was on the ball. I mean, for those of you that were on set, and I can attest to this, a lot of people came prepared. Like, lines were ready and everything. Normally, you require a lot of takes to get certain sequences done, but I'm glad to say that the rehearsals really paid off. You guys have seen the behind-the-scene videos and such. It was very, very well planned. I think the most amount of takes we ever did was 8 takes during one scene, and even then it wasn't long takes, as it were. How many gigabytes or terabytes of disk space did you take up? So this is the one I can't necessarily answer, but I will give a clue. We used 8 terabyte drives to transfer all of the footage for editing purposes, and I will say that it came close to taking up all that space. So that is a little bit of a clue there. How many hours of filming did it take to get that footage? I'm curious to see how much time is consumed by all of the things that occur before and after camera rolls. Well, it was 2 weeks of principal photography. So easily 2 weeks right there. But there, with everything extra that we've done, I would say that all of Nerdvana Season 1 is I would say 2 months of solid filming work. And then everything else in post and such. So... and post takes even longer, right? Hopefully that answers your question. Rough estimate of hours spent editing. Well, like I said, even longer. I haven't kept track. I actually lose days when I edit, so I'm often reminded, hey, Tito, you need to eat. Hey, Tito, you need to sleep, right? Once I get into like an editing groove, it's hard to get me away from that, and mainly it's because I'll do one thing and I'll say, oh well, I got an idea for this and that and the other thing, and I'm pretty meticulous in regards to taking notes while I'm editing, so I'll have a laundry list of stuff I want to do, and then even after things are sent out, filmmaking is a collaborative process, so I'll get feedback from the team and then apply those changes, see if they work or don't work, and then we'll have conversations around that. So it's a very fluid process. It's honestly my favorite part because you can make something that you didn't think was good so much greater, and then it also helps normalize what you thought was great when you shot it, and it ends up being even better because you kind of get a little bit disappointed, oh, I wish we had done this, but then it becomes a conversation with the team about how we can fix or improve something, right? That's honestly the best part of filmmaking for me, is when you and people that you trust get together and you collaborate and you hear each other and you're flexible on what you can and can't do to make for the betterment of the project, right? Rough estimate on hours spent on sound. I can't actually answer this question because sound design was actually Steve Reeves. So Steve, once I put the picture lock together, I handed the entire package over to Steve, and Steve put on his special sound sauce. Sounded dirtier than it was meant to be. All over it. Even dirtier now. But I can say that in retrospect, I should have given him more time. So, you do what you can with the time you're given, and really, we were chasing the clock on a couple of things with music and sound and visual effects in particular. This season was very visual effects heavy, so a lot of it had to be done away and then brought back into the main timeline, and that was particularly difficult for Steve. I can't speak for him directly, and maybe he'll answer this in a vlog of his own. But he would technically have to assume something was on screen that wasn't necessarily on screen, and then go back and tweak it after it was finally delivered to him. So hopefully that answers that question. Thanks for bringing this type of production to to town, MacGuffin Media. Can't wait to see the premiere. Me too, and I'm hoping we can do more future productions of this sort in the future, because I really think it highlights the talent of Fort McMurray and beyond, as it were. You guys will probably see a bit more of him at the premiere if you guys are attending, but our visual effects artist, Robert Reindow, is actually going to be in attendance. I'm very excited for him to see Fort McMurray. He did a lot of visual effects and outside of Fort McMurray, and it's really fascinating. It's going to be a really, really, really trippy moment for him to kind of see the locations, because I'm going to give him a little bit of a tour of town before the big premiere. And again, shout out to David Hyde, who also did visual effects for us for the pilot. So it's really interesting to see how that collaboration happened, where David Hyde did the pilot, and then Robert Reindow took what David Hyde worked on initially, and then kind of did his own interpretation of certain things and such. You guys will see it in the pilot, but certain visual effects have been changed, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, I would say that it's the best of both worlds, and it really creates a bit of a delineation between the pilot and the rest of the season. So we joke around about it throughout the season, about how the pilot is so much different in a good way, in the sense of, like, this is what we did with this budget, and this is what we're doing with this budget. And as always, if you guys have comments or you want me to answer questions, same format as before. So next week, make sure you leave comments in this video, and I'll answer them in the next vlog that we do. Again, remember to subscribe. Remember to ring the bell on YouTube. Remember to like our page. Remember to follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. You guys know all of our social media handles by now, I hope. And until next time, make sure that you learn to be professional, but you always keep that indie passion.